and welcome back to Claire's Clues. On today's video, we'll be talking about the book The Millionaire Mind by Thomas Stanley. So there's two parts to this book, so let me quickly break down what they are. And part one being the money blueprint. So when he talks about the money blueprint, what he's talking about is he says, you can have all the knowledge and the skill in the world. But if your blueprint isn't set for success, then you're financially doomed. Now, I know that sounds terrible, but if your outlook is what he's talking about, is not geared in the sense of financial freedom, if you're not thinking that you can make money, then you'll find that that's exactly what you can't do. You can't make money. And your mind is a very powerful thing. So whatever you feed it, whatever you give to it, it will believe it. And over time, it will become your reality. So he goes on to say that there are three forms of powerful programming in the world. All right, so number one, he talks about how there's verbal programming, what we see and hear around us. Sorry, just what we hear around us. Number two is modeling. This is what we see, the things that we take in from our surroundings. And number three is specific incidences. So personal experience. Whether positive or negative, these things impact how we do what we do. All right, so he goes on to say that we need to be aware of your thoughts towards money. The things that you think are very vital to what your outcome is going to be. And he goes on else to say that understand how your thoughts influence you about money. Sorry, guys. So understanding that whatever it is you think about money, whether it be good or bad, it will influence the outcome of it. It will influence how you feel about money. And the last but not least on this one, he talks about disassociation. So you need to change your thoughts towards wealth and money. Whatever it might be, say you have an average feeling or, you're pretty mutual on making money, things like that, you need to change that mindset. You need to change it so that it is a positive outlook and that know that you can make money. No matter who you are, what your background is, or where you come from. Everyone is capable of succeeding and having financial freedom. All right, so part two, guys, I'll dive into this one as quick as possible because there's 17 dot points to this one. So I'll try and keep it quite brief for you. But number one, first of all, it's called the Wealth Files. So this is pretty cool. This is stuff that's dot pointed, it's really simple, and it's good information. So number one, he says, rich people think I create my life, whilst poor people think life happens to me. So if you have a poor mindset, you'll find that the things that go on around you, you say, oh, but that's life. That's what a poor mindset is people leave it up to chance and just, whatever goes, whatever happens, happens. And they don't actually, block out or sort of draw out what it is they want in life. Map out the plan that they want to achieve. And rich people have the mindset of, well, I can create whatever life I want. No matter what it is, no matter how big or how small, I can help create whatever it might be. That's the mindset that you want to have, that you can all obtain. All right, number two, he talks about rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play not to lose. So that's an interesting one. I'll leave it with you to think about, but I'll say it again one more time. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play not to lose. All right. So number three, he talks about, your intentions lead your emotions and actions. All right. So rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. So rich people will find a way no matter what. While as poor people will say, hey, look, I want to be rich, but I'll just sort of dream about it and think about it in the meantime. They won't take the steps or the action required to get them to where they want to be. But we all look to rich people and we think, how did you get there? I want to be like you. Wouldn't it be nice to have all the money at your disposal to do whatever it is you could dream of, think of, invent? Imagine being able to do that. Well, that's just possible. That's exactly what you can do, and all with the right mindset. All right, so number four, guys, he talks about how your value prepositions are important. Your value prepositions is an important wealth factor. And it talks about people that are rich think big. All right. So poor people actually have small thinking. They think very like, my next paycheck. Whereas rich people think, well, whenever my next pay comes in, I still have the ability to do whatever it is I want. And I'll keep making money. I don't have to work for it because I've put in the work already. This is what they have. They have passive income. So they don't have to go work a 9-to-5 job. They can easily take their holiday and still have income coming in. Whereas poor people's mindset is, well, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I have to do my 9-to-5 job to make money so I can pay the bills. That's what they think. So it's very small-minded thinking. Not, how can I create a passive income to make me money, to get me to where I want to go, and I have to put in very little work. Sorry, guys. Number 5, he talks about how rich people focus on opportunities and poor people focus on obstacles. So the rich always find opportunity no matter where it is. No matter how it comes up, they'll find that opportunity can arise at the strangest of times. Now, even poor people will find this. But the difference is that rich people will take that opportunity. And poor people think, well, I don't really want to risk it, so I think I'll just pass. So poor people always see an obstacle. That opportunity that they could have taken, they see as a risk, as something that, sort of gets in their way. And they go, but if I just work my 9-to-5 job, I'll still make the money that I want. But it's not going to be all the money that you want, truly. It's not going to be the money that can give you the financial freedom that you're truly looking for. All right, guys, and moving on to number 6, he says, admiration and resentment play a very big part or a crucial part in, a crucial part to wealth creation. So rich people admire rich people. Poor people resent the rich. So rich people will always look to other rich people to find out how it is they're making their money. What avenues are they taking to make sure that they've always got an income coming in. But poor people will look to rich people and think, you don't deserve all that money. You didn't work for it. But that's not true at all. In order to make money, we all have to work to some degree. It's just in different avenues in different ways. Because at the end of the day, we're not all the same. We do things differently. But we can learn from others. There is one thing that we can always do, and that is learn. So moving on to number 8, he says, rich people promote themselves and their value. Poor people think the opposite. So poor people think, well, if I promote myself, I'm vain, I'm narcissistic, I'm not going to promote myself, are you kidding? But rich people say, hey, if I promote myself and I get myself out there, the opportunities that I could, get from this, or, opportunities that might arise could be endless. So there's no harm done, because really, once you're putting yourself out there, you find that people will either say yes or no. And how hard is it to hear the word no? So many people don't want to hear it because they're so scared of failure or being turned away or whatever it might be. They don't want to hear it. But the thing is the more no's you hear, you'll get used to it eventually. But no's are a good thing because they're stepping stones to yeses. All right, so number 9, guys, moving on. He says, how you view problems or challenges matters more than the size of the problem or the challenge itself. All right, so the way you perceive things, your perception of whatever it is that's going on is the one key thing to how you deal with it. If you have a poor mindset to whatever it is that comes up, whatever problem you might have or challenge or whatever it might be, if your mindset is negative towards it, you'll find that you'll always find problems with it. Therefore, you'll never overcome it. But if you realize that, yes, this problem, it's not easy to solve, but it is solvable. Your mindset is always a way of, how do I get past this? How do I move forward? If you can get through that, if you can change your mindset and your attitude towards whatever it is that's arisen, then you'll find that you'll be able to move on and move past the problem that you're having. That way enabling you to do the things that you truly want to do. Because there's no such thing as an obstacle. We are the only thing in our way. And number 10, he says, become a wealth magnet by becoming a great receiver. All right, so what he means by this is that rich people are excellent receivers. They're good at receiving information, they're good at receiving, compliments, whatever it might be. While as poor people say, hey, look, I don't think it's for me. I'd like, how people get nervous when they get a compliment sometimes, things like that. That's the kind of outlook that they've got. All right, and number 11, guys, he says, earning a paycheck will help you stay safe, but it won't help you become a wealthy person. So yes, you might pay your bills at the end of the week or at the end of the month or whatever it might be for you. But at the end of the day, you'll still be left with a very little amount of money and you'll be saving your whole life, quite possibly, to get to where you want to go. But by the time you get there, time's up and you can't really do the things you wanted to do because maybe you're not as healthy as you were, maybe you're not as fit as you used to be, maybe life circumstances have changed. Whatever it might be, things do happen and we can't always go back and change things. Sorry guys. So living paycheck to paycheck is one thing, but being able to have something called financial freedom is what we all really need to be sought after. Because once we have financial freedom, we enable ourselves to live the lives and truly live the lives that we all really dream of. And number 12, guys, he says, rich people think both. Poor people think either or. So what he means by this is that rich people don't have to pick options. They don't have to pick one or the other. They can enable themselves to pick both. All right? And poor people think, well, I either have to pick one or the other, which is not true. You don't have to pick one or the other. It's totally up to you, and you can have both, so long as you're on the right path. All right, number 13, really quickly. Poor people focus on their income, rich people focus on their net worth. So poor people are always thinking like, hey, how big's my paycheck going to be this week? Or, I hope the boss has actually calculated my paycheck properly. I really need that pay so I can pay my bills and look after my kids, whatever it might be. But rich people think, hey, my net worth, how can I increase it? What can I do to make it bigger? How can I make my financial freedom even more than what it is? All right, so that's the mindset on that one. And number 14, he says, the difference between rich and poor is money management. So this is a big one. This is how we handle our money. So if you're rich, you'll find that these rich people are putting aside, quite a large sum of their money just for the rainy days where if things do go wrong or they find themselves in a circumstance of which they do require money, they have it there. And it also has the ability to provide them with luxuries in life, the things that they all want, things that we all want, things that we dream of, and they get to go out and do those things because they've set aside the money for it. While as rich people are always focusing on, hey, if I just get this new latest greatest iPhone, or if I buy this laptop, or, I get a new pair of shoes, whatever it might be, they spend their money on the little things instead of saving over a long period of time and giving up instant gratification for, long-term gratification. Because if we save today, maybe you can spend tomorrow, depending on how much we save. All right, number 15, really quickly, the rich have their money work for them, while as the poor people work hard for their money. So rich people always, like I said, have some sort of a passive income. While poor people, you'll find generally, they always think, I have to work for my money, I have to go to my job, or jobs, maybe you've got multiple. Whatever it might be, a poor mindset is always, I must work harder, I must work longer hours, which is not true at all. You don't have to do that at all. You could spend more time with your family if you want to, or you can take that holiday you've been dreaming of. But all it takes is to have the right mindset and put yourself on a path of financial freedom with even something that you can have. Everyone can have it, and that is passive income. There are multiple ways to earn this. Now moving on, guys, really quickly, number 16, action is the fuel by which we achieve all goals. So action is what it takes to get to where we want, no matter what it is in life. Because even think of a baby. If they've got a toy across the room, they're going to try all their might to get up, get crawling, and get to that toy. So action. And again, if we want a job, what do? Well, we print out resumes, we start handing them out, we start doing things. We take action because that's what is required to make it to where we want to go. Same goes for if you want to be successful. We need to put in action. We need to apply the things that we know in order to make it to where we want to go. And last but not least, guys, number 17, rich people are always growing. Poor people think they know it all. Now, this is the death of all things because unfortunately we can't always know it all, and we never will. That's the one thing that will always stay true, is that even on our deathbeds, we will never know it all. But the thing is, rich people have a different mindset. Rich people think that Every day that comes will be something where I can learn something new. There'll be something that comes up every single day that you will learn more about. Or maybe you'll hone a skill and you'll find that even 10 years down the track, you're still learning new things. You know, you'll find people in their 60s and 70s that even to this day say, hey, I learned something new today. Because there's no way on earth that we could possibly know it all. We are not computers. Alright guys, so I'll quickly summarize this one as fast as possible. And he talks about in the beginning how your money blueprint is very vital. It's extremely important if you want to have financial freedom. But if your blueprint, no matter how much knowledge or skill in the world that you have, if your blueprint isn't set for success, then you'll find that you will be financially doomed. So make sure that your blueprint is that of the right one. And really quickly, the TFAR. So your thoughts lead to feelings, your feelings lead to action, and your action leads to results. So always take action. Always make sure you're putting your foot forward in the best direction you know how. Alright, and there's also three forms of powerful programming in the world. And they are verbal, which is what we hear. Second of all, there's modeling, so what we see around us, what we take in. And third but last, specific incidents, so personal experience. Now he also says, beware of the thoughts towards money. Make sure that you understand how your thoughts can influence you about your money. And last but not least on that one as well, disassociation. So you need to change your thoughts towards money and wealth. Because once you start turning things around, your life will start turning around as well. So your mind, like I said, is a very powerful tool. So once you start setting it off in the right direction, it will do nothing but snowball just that way. So if you start off with a mindset of success, you'll find that your life will start to snowball in that direction. Yes, it might take time, and yes, it will take action, but it's all worth it. You can't tell me that your life, if you would have financial freedom, wouldn't be worth it. All right? And part number 2, guys, as quick as I can, the wealth files. One is rich people have an outlook of I create my life. Second of all, poor people think that life happens to me. Second is rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game not to lose. Number 3, he talks about your intentions lead your emotions and your actions. And rich people are always committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. That's the difference between the two. So have a clear idea of those ones. Number 4 is your values. Preposition is an important wealth factor. So rich people think big and poor people think small. Number 6, he talks about admiration and resentment play a big, crucial, central part in the, to wealth. So wealth creation in particular. And rich people admire other rich people, while as poor people resent rich. Now, moving on to number 7, rich people associate with positive, successful people, while as poor people do the opposite. They usually, tend to hang out with people that really aren't going in the direction that they want, and yet they still wish that they could have the life that others have. That's the unfortunate predicament that we also can find ourselves in at some point in time. Now, in order to overcome that, we need to study the rich and then copy them. That's all it is, because someone's already done it before you. Now, number 8, guys, he talks about how rich people promote themselves and their name, their value, and poor people think the opposite. They don't want to do this because they're fearful of rejection, of hearing no, whatever it might be. There's always something in the way. Number 9 is how you view your problems and your challenges matters the most than the size of the problem or the challenge itself. So no matter what the size of the problem is, no matter how big the challenge is, how you view it is what matters most. Now, number 10, he says, become a wealth magnet by becoming a great receiver, because rich people are excellent receivers. These people are so well tuned into receiving compliments and, just generalized good things. They're accepting of them, while you'll find poor people aren't as receptive. Now, number 11, he says, earning a paycheck will help you stay safe, but it won't help you to achieve wealth or financial freedom in some case. Now, number 12, he says, rich people think about both, and they generally choose both, while as poor people think either or either. Moving on to number 14, the difference between rich and poor is money management. So how we view and manage our money. Are we setting aside money, or are we spending it today to have the little things? Do you want instant gratification, or do you want delayed gratification where the payoff is far greater? Number 15, really quickly, the rich have their money work for them, the poor work for their money. All right, number 16, action is the fuel by which we achieve all goals. So making sure you're always putting your foot in the right direction, or at least towards whatever goal you want to achieve. But always keep putting your foot forward, no matter what the obstacle, no matter how hard the day. And number 17, guys, last but not least, is rich people are always growing and poor people think they know it all already. All right, so that's all from me today. I'll leave this with you, but we'll be making a lot more of these videos with this training series to help you with your personal development goals. But until next time, leave a comment below on what you liked the most, and I look forward to seeing you next time in Claire's Clues. Bye, guys!